So we're picking up where we left off in the last video where Jay makes the claim that considering Charlie Kirk a martyr is basically absurd. So here I discuss why maybe he should reserve that judgment and maybe think about it a little differently.
It is a tragedy. It's definitely a tragedy, but martyred is a little extreme. It's kind of cuckoo.
So I would in the purest sense of the word, a martyr is someone who died specifically for their faith.
Being able to define terms in any conversation is important. Notice Jay says he's not a martyr, but he actually provides no meaningful working definition of one, only examples of people who he thought would be a martyr. But I'm just making a simple defining of the term so that we can have a common basis to discuss it.
Right. So, like, if somebody might be killed and they might be a believer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a martyr. Like, say, for example, if you were a police officer
and you were a believer,
follower, right, but you were killed in the line of duty.
So why isn't he in the same context?
That's not a martyr. Because Charlie was, well, first of all, I could say that for those of us who are familiar with his content, Charlie shared the gospel in all of his, I shouldn't say all, but the majority of his political conversations, he let it know clearly that it was the biblical worldview that informed his positions. He also literally, I mean, and I can send you a lot of content, but he shared the gospel a lot on college campuses, and he did a mix of political talks and gospel sharing in his general work. He did a lot of speaking at churches. His faith was very, very, very prominent, a very prominent feature. So that's why a lot of people feel like he's a martyr, because it's not just that he was saying things that were unpopular. Mm-hmm. He was saying things that were unpopular because that the root of it was a biblical worldview. And that's why I think a lot of people feel, I to be honest, I feel that way. I feel that martyr is an appropriate use of the term if you're familiar with his work. So what I would say to you is to get more familiar with his content and then judge it.
Why?
Then judge.
Why though?
The fact that Jay is even asking why he should have information before making a judgment is completely astounding. And I'm telling you, friends, if you're having a conversation with someone like this, I can guarantee you it's going nowhere. This really is a waste of time. It's obvious why you should know things before you make a judgment about them. But what Jay is showing is that he has no interest in growth or learning or another perspective. And that's why he's stuck.
Because you can't make a judgment about something that you don't understand.
What judgment did I make?
Feigned ignorance is a common tactic of people who can't be reasoned with. Jay knows exactly the claim that he's making, and I'm not sure why he's asking me to reestablish it. This is just another way to kind of bog down the conversation. And there again, it's a waste of time.
You're saying that people calling him a martyr is absurd.
Yeah, and I said that based upon the remember in the examples I used, I said the apostles that walked with Christ were martyred.
So do you think that a person has to be at a certain, I guess, spiritual level to be a martyr?
I don't know if spiritual level would be the words I would use, but they sound good.
That's odd.
It sounds good. So I'll go with it. If you like that.
Yeah,
Is that what you like to use?
Now, I offer a term that maybe could move the conversation forward and maybe clarify what Jay is trying to say, because he hasn't provided a working definition of a martyr. And so I'm trying to facilitate that. But now he's flipping it on its head and saying, is that what I like to use? This is not about what I like to use. This is about clarifying the terms he is using. And I'm not really sure why he's going this direction with it. But it just muddies up the conversation.
Is that what you like to use?
I mean, I don't know. Spiritual level is
I didn't say it. You said that.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just trying to. I'm reaching for words to facilitate a conversation. But like, I think anyone could be martyred. I don't think that you need to be. I think it's about the reason why a person was killed. If a person was killed, and their faith was a central part of why they were killed, then I think that qualifies as a martyr.
So you believe that Charlie Kirk was killed because of his faith?
I think that's a part of it. Yes.
Well, I think that if you feel like he was killed because of his faith, then I think if you want to call him a martyr, I think you can.
Right.
But I don't. You know, I wouldn't.
I mean,
I wouldn't say
that's
that.
fine that you
Yeah,
won't say
I
that.
wouldn't say that.
I think
Yeah.
that the thing that I'm reaching for is, and this is the thing that I hope that we would do anytime and always we have conversations, is that we would have a broad spectrum about. I like to, if I reject something someone believes, I like to fully understand it, right? I want to say like, okay, if you have a position on that, I would reserve judgment about whether that is good or not until I get all of the information about why you're saying that.
So are you saying that I should call him a martyr?
Here's where we make a distinction between asking a clarifying question and asking a question that puts words in people's mouths. There was nothing that I said in the last few phrases that would suggest that I'm saying that he should call Charlie Kirk a martyr. I'm pretty clear in saying you should understand why I say that before you reject it. And this is another way people who aren't good conversation partners muddy up a conversation.
And the fact that I don't call him a
you should
martyr
get more
is-
familiar with his work and why he was killed. So,
But why though? That's my question. Why do I need
for
to?
the reasons that I just mentioned? You don't know much about it.
But my question to you is, why do I need to know about him?
I think I've made it clear.
No, you haven't. You just told me about who he is, and you said that he was a person that spoke about Second Amendment rights, and that he talked about politics and faith. And I had a question for you once you talked about that, but I didn't want to stop you. And then you said that you believe he was martyred, and that you just kind of gave some details.
I think I said more than that.
But everything you said, nothing you said would lead me to think that I need to know more about who he is.
Charlie shared the gospel as a primary feature of his public life.
I'm with you.
Right.
I understand that. Okay.
So then it's fair to so let's just kind of go through this logically.
Okay.
Jesus said, if they hated me, they will hate you. A servant is not above his master. I send you out as sheep among wolves. The idea that the Christian would be hated by a God-hating world is a central tenet of the faith. It's a well-established tenet of the faith. And if that describes Charlie, and this is the if part, if that's an accurate description of Charlie's public life, that he was an outspoken, genuine Christ follower, espousing principles of the gospel, and synthesizing that into some of his political beliefs, then it's a fair label. But what I'm saying to you is, don't be dismissive of that when you don't know his public life.
Dismissive of why you call him a martyr?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not dismissive.
I'm not asking you to accept it.
Oh yeah.
What I'm reaching for here is an appeal to understand.
Yeah, I agree that if I was interested in understanding about who Charlie Kirk was, if I'm interested in understanding why you feel like he's a martyr, then I think I should definitely dive into his works. And
now I am genuinely confused here because I can't tell whether Jay really can't make the connection that he is making a claim about something that he doesn't understand or not. It isn't really clear to me, but he's telling me outright that he has no interest in learning more about Charlie Kirk. And also, he already knows that Charlie Kirk is not a martyr. And also, he's already admitted he doesn't know much about Charlie Kirk. This is maddening.
Things of that nature.
I'm saying something very, very specific.
Okay.
I'm saying to make a judgment that it's silly, absurd, or out of bounds to call him a martyr
I'm
when
with
you
you now.
don't know anything about him. And now, whether you want to know more about him, whether you're motivated to know that, that's fine.
I'm with you.
What I would say is,
I understand the
is that
question.
if you don't think he is, and if you're not interested in learning more,
I
then
got
just
you.
reserve that judgment.
I
Just
got
say,
you.
some people say he's a martyr. I don't know much about him. I don't have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
I'm very big on not having strong opinions about things that I do not understand.
Well, let me say why I thought it was cuckoo. That's what I said.
Well,
I said cuckoo, and I did.
I think what we are establishing,
And I said insanity,
is that
too.
You said cuckoo
And insanity.
and you don't know. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the reason you're saying it's cuckoo doesn't comport because you don't. I go back to the thing that I'm saying. You don't know anything about Charlie Kirk.
So
Well, if you found that maddening, you ain't seen nothing yet. Make sure you stay tuned for the next clip where it gets, unfortunately, even worse.